Okay, guys, the stocks I'll be watching on Monday, EXAS, Exact Sciences. You had the gap up here about a week ago, sold off, but really kind of held the 8-day moving average, and you're seeing some buying. You kind of see those tails there. Seeing some buying down around and below 17, and it looks to be headed back up. So switching to 15-minute candles, you had kind of an opening high on Friday and then a little bit of a lower high. So if you get above this lower high, I'm going to call this 1766. If you get up to there, I'll probably take a long. Now it's impossible to go over all the potential scenarios, but you know, if it gaps down and opens at 17, then runs up, I'm not going to buy it at 1766 because it will be short-term extended and so on. So when I give you something like a trigger price, that kind of assumes a fairly flat open, and I also generally don't take it if it hits that trigger price in the first couple minutes because things are so whippy at that point. So what I'd like to see in a perfect world is it to trade around 1750 in a narrow range for an hour or so and then break out to the upside. So anyway, I can't cover all those possible scenarios, but I do like this long over 1765, all things considered. SE, I don't love this, but it's kind of interesting. It's been chopping around here for a little over a week, and then on a high volume push up, it's kind of breaking over about a week and a half's worth of trading. So, and closed at its highs on Friday. So just be looking for a potential long setup in that one. DRL, this one is interesting. It got killed back here at this really nice pop, then a lower high, then gapped up, sold off, but then the very next day pushed up and really is kind of hanging out. Looks like it's maybe getting ready for another leg higher. So I like this long over recent highs. If I had to give you a number, over 770, this one might make a quick big move. So it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. HTZ up 5-6 days in a row maybe. If it gets up around 30.50, these highs back here from June, I might be looking for an intraday short, a reversal, because it's just green every day. You get up over those recent highs, it might be some profit taking and a reversal for a possible short. LIVE, a lower volume stock, but this one can move at times, as you can see back here. Gapped up a few days ago and really narrow range on Friday, right at the 200-day. And you've got nice support below. You see, 2 weeks worth of trading right below that. So the gap up, this one could get a nice push higher. Certainly worth having on watch. Up over 430 with some volume, or over Friday's high, which was hard to see here. Over 435 with some volume. Could get a nice quick trade there. OVTI, thought they had a buyout offer or something, and it closed at its highs on Thursday and kind of a quiet lower volume inside day on Friday. So this one, if it trades in a narrow range for a while and then get an upside break, we could get a nice trade in OVTI. You got to feel like the bid in it, the bid that was announced, and I don't know what price the offer was, or even if that was true. I'm just going by the chart, but you got to figure if that was true, it probably puts a floor on the downside. MNKD, whoops, let's try that again. Gapped up about a week ago, hit $10 and a little bit of change there, and then pretty much down 5 days straight and hitting the 200-day. And so at some point, shorts that are doing pretty well, shorted the gap up, you're getting kind of a narrow day here too, a narrow range on the day on Friday. So I'm looking for a possible bounce in MNKD on Monday. Plug. PLUG really kind of looked nice. He had this pop and then really a nice consolidation, then gapped above it on Thursday, but closed, sold off most of the day, closed kind of in the middle of its range on Thursday and a narrow range on Friday. So again, you have some support now. You're getting down back near the 8-day. So again, if we can get a narrow range for an hour or two, then an upside break. Plug usually gets some really nice volume pouring in. You could have, it's one of those you could have as many shares as you want. We can catch an upside break in that. Could be a nice quick trade. KNDI. Now, on the daily, there's not much here. It's just kind of chopping all over the place. But it had earnings about a week ago, sold off, and then sold off the next day, and really is kind of finding support. So I look for this thing to break one way or the other. How's that for a great idea? But if you get back up over this base here on Monday, you might push through 18 and get a nice move higher. If not, if this sells off some more, I like the support at 17 and again around 1650 for a potential bounce there. So this one right now, I just kind of have in my notes to watch, and it's one of those could go either way. Just looking at the daily, if I didn't know KNDI had earnings a week ago, I probably wouldn't have given this daily chart a second look. But if you're a trader, KNDI can move really nicely at times, and because it's a week after earnings and chopping around, I think it's going to find a direction pretty soon. So it's absolutely worth having on watch. HIMX, you had a high back here of 804, and it came right up near $8 last week, and is really kind of flagging below it. So you could argue that's a pretty clean cup and handle. If you get up through 8 on volume, HIMX might fulfill the breakout there. And TKMR, last one I have on watch here. Nice bounce on Friday, and this one with the Ebola deal may continue higher on Monday. Friday, this gave us a great trade in the room when it looked like this. I had this on Bounce Watch. This is one that I said if it breaks its early high in the afternoon, you hear me say that a lot in my videos, that this one could get some passion behind it. So it started to climb up, and I didn't want to chase it, but using like 2-minute candles, I saw it kind of top out around 1690, and so I called it, I think, 1695. If it got there, I said we'll probably push through the whole number 17, take out the high of the day, and get going. So I called it at 1695 with a 75 stop or 1680 stop. It was pretty tight, 15-20 cents, and there we got the trigger. Next thing you know, it started fulfilling everything I'd hoped, and broke through the high of the day. Volume started to come in, and this is what I mean when I say having stocks with recent passion on a chart. Okay, if I didn't have this on a chart, I might not have noticed it till it started lighting up all the scanners, and then it's already had a big move. Although look at that, it moved much bigger. We had that was my best trade of the day on Friday. But the lesson there is keep stocks with recent passion on watch. You might be able to find a really clean entry. And I didn't even get involved, or I didn't get the chat room involved, or myself involved in this until we got to that 1695 area, and then we didn't have to wait. So a lot of it is timing. You can be right on a stock and still lose money on the trade because you don't time it right. So that one, the timing was really nice, and we made money without ever being underwater, and really without any pullbacks. So having said all that, I don't have a trigger price for this one on Monday, but with all the Ebola news, this one still needs to be on watch. Maybe we can get a low risk setup again on Monday. All right, have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see everybody on Monday.